I think it's extremely important. So it's completely different working, for example, from a stable democratic environment, or in a company which respects equality, different opinions, or having a product which has been produced under procedures that respect human rights. So I think placemaking in all level fields is important to a great extent, but in terms of consumer or even user or business that might be buying a product or a space, I think there's still, to a large extent, ignorance regarding many of the aspects that I previously referred to.
Yeah, and I think this question also refers to, being an attractive city or region or country itself, to attract talent and investors and to build this ecosystem.
Obviously, yeah. If you see there's a global survey about which cities, not even countries, are the most attractive, and you have a lot of different criteria. So if, for example, you had the weather condition of Greece and the innovation system of the Netherlands, I think you would have almost the ideal place for somebody to work.
It sounds amazing. It sounds amazing.
Yeah. I think sometimes we've gone a bit far in branding. I mean, there are also, with all of the benchmarks, if you then look what's behind, then behind the ideal brand might not be the ideal ecosystem. I mean, we've slowly seen also what in Silicon Valley, for instance, the house prices, the difficulty to retain staff, and all these things, it actually made that more companies now stay, or at least have their developers out of San Francisco. But it's I think for us it's so Amsterdam is definitely a brand for the Netherlands, and where you're in Rotterdam, and so but I think to have a city where people know they want to go, and where they can tell their friends, if you go to, let's say, if you say I'm going to go to Boston or go to Tel Aviv, or people will say, oh right, what do you do, what is your challenge? But if you would say maybe going to, I won't mention the city because I get all this hate mail after that, but they say, oh, why do you go there? You don't want that, because as you said, there is a war for talent. So you do want you create an attractive environment, and it has to kind of come with a certain feeling, of a positive feeling, which is linked to innovation, and that that you're going to get more talent there, and so but then there are other things that are real. It's your tax system, it's the reliability of the government, it's the availability of funding. So we focus much more on those bits, because the branding, I mean, it has many aspects to it that we don't control, and we really think that in the long run, it's the real factors that determine if companies want to stay there, if they can grow there, and we also don't stop companies. For instance, Dutch companies decide that they need to grow and they need to leave the Netherlands. That's fine, because if that's what's good for their business, it's good for their business. What we do want is that they at a certain point bring their knowledge back, or that they form part of a network that supports the next generation of entrepreneurs. So we do support that. So there has to be a positive connotation, if that's what you could call branding. There has to be something that makes people enthusiastic to contribute to what we're building in the Netherlands. So I think that is important.
Exactly. Do we have another question, backstage team? Let's see if something pops up right now. And otherwise, I will go to my final question, which is, we have a very young audience, it's full of millennials, and they're probably all interested in tech, creativity and innovation. What advice would you give them? Constantijn, can I start with you?
don't follow your dreams. Don't be held back by a lot of people that will tell you it's not possible. But don't mistake stubbornness for a wise business decision. So there is a seek out the people you want to be with. So don't try to convince all the naysayers, but seek out the people that are positive. Go to those places where they are, but do find good advisors and be willing to pay for them as well, because so many mistakes have been made that you don't have to make, and so this kind of stubbornness that gets you to become an entrepreneur will not always keep you into business. So you have to kind of be open as well to advice from others.
Stubborn but not stupid. Maybe that's it. Okay. Christos, do you have any advice?
Yes, I would say that we should not be afraid to take risks, but at the same time, we should try to think of the consequences of our actions and what would happen in case something did not go according to plan, or how I could start building next steps when I have a successful first step. But especially when you're competing at a global stage, you have to take risks, and taking risk might have positive results in the end. In not in most cases though, but in case somebody does not succeed in his or her goals in the beginning, you should always find the strength in order to try again, another initiative, and of course another risk. And I would say, contrary to what Constantijn is, that you should be stubborn in your effort to try to take the right initiative, but you should not be stubborn in trying to implement a specific initiative which perhaps might not be a good idea. So we should take risks, but at the same time evaluating what the consequences are of our risk every day.
Exactly.
Yeah, fully agree.
And I think that perseverance is the thing that you're both saying. That's important.